Chapter 3, Marked. Mira found her before anyone else did and dragged her inside. And for one merciful hour, they were only aunt and niece again. Mira scrubbing ash from Kestrel's palms with shaking hands, murmuring nonsense reassurances neither of them believed. But Millhaven was a small town, and someone had seen the pillar of white fire over the forge roof, and small towns did not keep secrets from the Verity Wardens for long. The knock came at moonrise. 6 riders in ash-gray coats, sigils of flame and stone stitched bright at their collars, and at their head, a young man perhaps 20 years old with a warden's collar pin and eyes that looked as tired as Kestrel felt. His name, she would learn later, was Fen Carreau, and he was junior enough in rank that he still flinched at the things he was ordered to do. "There was a light seen over this house," he said, not unkindly. "We're required to inspect for star sign. It's a formality. Most nights it's swamp gas or a chimney fire." His eyes moved to Kestrel's right hand, which she had wrapped in a rag and was holding against her stomach like a broken wing. "Let me see your hand, miss." She thought about lying. She thought about running. In the end, she simply unwrapped the rag, because some stubborn, honest part of her did not know how to do anything else, and the silver spiral caught the lamplight and Fen Carreau went the color of old ash. "Gods under the earth," he said softly. Then louder to the riders behind him, "Sound the don't." Thistle's voice from the doorway, mild as ever, though Kestrel had not heard him arrive. He had a knife in his hand that he was not quite pointing at anyone, and a look on his face she had never seen there before, old grief, old anger, banked like coals. "Carreau. You're Saravan's boy. Your mother makes the good plum wine at Harrogate Fair. How do you sound the alarm, and every warden in 3 counties descends on this house within the week," Thistle said, "and the girl dies on an inquisitor's altar before she's had 1 day to understand what's happened to her. Is that justice, boy? Or is that just paperwork?" Fen Carreau looked at Kestrel, really looked, the way people had stopped looking at her the moment they saw the mark, as a girl and not a symbol, and something in his young, tired face cracked open. "You have until dawn," he said very quietly. "I'll report a false alarm. Swamp gas. But Inquisitor General Vane rides this circuit personally now, looking for exactly this, and he will know I'm lying the moment he sees my face, so go." Mira was already moving, pulling a satchel from beneath the floorboards that Kestrel had never known was there, packed as if for exactly this night. "I always knew," her aunt said, not meeting her eyes, cramming in bread and coin and a knife. "Your mother's mark was the same. I hope to every god I know that you take after your father instead." "My mother," Kestrel's voice broke. 16 years of asterisk she died when you were small. Don't ask more cracked open in a single sentence. "Was star sign born, same as you, and burned for it before you could walk," Mira said, and finally looked up, her eyes wet and fierce. "I am not losing you the same way. Go with Thistle. He'll explain what I never could." And Kestrel, she gripped both of Kestrel's hands, marked and unmarked alike. "Whatever you are, whatever they call it, you are still the girl who trews a wagon axle better than any smith in the march. Don't let them make you forget that." There was no time for more. By the time the eastern sky went gray, Kestrel Ashgrove was 3 miles down the old drover's road with a peddler's cart, a stolen hour's head start, and a mark on her hand that hummed like a struck bell every time she thought too hard about fire. Chapter 4, Thistle's Truth. "Star sign," Thistle said, as the cart rattled along a road Kestrel didn't recognize, "is the oldest of the great powers and the only one the wardens outlawed entirely. Flame, tide, root, gale, stone, those they license, tax, and bless in temples. Star they hunt to extinction. Do you know why?" "Because it's dangerous," Kestrel said. It was the only answer Millhaven had ever offered. "Because it ended an empire," Thistle said. 900 years ago, the Sunspire Empire ruled half this continent, and its throne was held not by a king, but by a relic called the Sunheart. A shard of the same stuff that marked your hand last night, grown vast and old and half alive, that let a single bloodline command star sign on a scale no living starbearer has managed since. The last emperor used it to try to bind the sky itself to his will. He miscalculated. The cataclysm that followed unmade a third of the empire in a single night, and buried the Sunspire itself under the ash that gives this whole ruined stretch of land its name. Since then, the wardens have hunted every child born with your mark, not from malice alone, but from a fear so old it's calcified into law, that a starbearer, left to grow, becomes a door. And something is always waiting on the other side of a door like that. You make it sound like I'm a weapon. You're a key, Thistle said, and something in his voice made her look at him properly for the first time. Really look, the way she'd looked at Fen Carreau, past the disguise of an old peddler into the tired eyes of someone who had carried a secret a very long time. He pulled back his sleeve. On the papery skin of his forearm was a mark like hers, gone dull silver gray, scarred over in places as if someone had tried and failed to cut it out. I was 15 when the wardens came for me. I survived because the man who found me first loved me more than he feared the law, and taught me to hide what I was for 60 years instead of using it. I do not know if that was mercy or cowardice. I have never stopped wondering. He looked at her hand. You will have to decide, faster than I did, which one you intend to be. Decide what? Whether you run from this the rest of your life, the way I did, Thistle said, or whether you learn to hold it the way you hold a hammer, as a tool, not a curse. Because Vane is already riding this road behind us, girl, and he is not chasing a heretic to burn her. He is chasing the last living key to the Sunheart's vault, and he means to use it himself. Chapter 5, The Chase. They heard the horses before they saw them, a hard, drumming gallop on the packed drovers' road, too fast for merchants, too disciplined for bandits. Thistle swore with a fluency that surprised her and hauled the cart off the road into a stand of birches. But the wheels caught in a rut and the whole thing tilted, spilling pins and copper wire in a bright, useless rain across the leaf litter. Go, Thistle said. The old mill upstream, half a mile, follow the water. I'll slow them. I'm not leaving you two. You are the key, Kestrel, not me. I am an old man with a knife, and 60 years of practice being unimportant. Let me be unimportant one more time. Go. She went because some instincts override argument, and she was 300 yards upstream when she heard the first rider crash through the birches behind her. Not the whole company, just one, faster and lighter than the rest. And when she risked a look back, it was Fen Carreau, alone, his warden coat unbuttoned, riding like the devil was behind him rather than ahead. Wait. He shouted. Girl, Kestrel, wait, I'm not. She didn't wait. She ran until the ground turned to river stone and the water forced her to slow, and that was where he caught her, sliding off his horse into the shallows, hands up, empty, breathing hard. I let you go once already, he said. I'm not here to drag you back. Vane's circuit caught up with mine an hour after you left Millhaven. He knows about the light. He knows about the mark. He's not sending riders to arrest you anymore. He's coming himself, with a warrant that doesn't ask for you alive. He swallowed. I watched him burn a boy in Harrogate 2 winters back who'd done nothing but look like he might carry star sign, on suspicion alone, in the square, in front of the boy's mother. I've told myself for 2 years that the accord makes it necessary. I don't believe that anymore. I don't know what I believe. But I know I'm not riding for him another day. Behind him, faint through the trees, came the sound of many more horses. Then you'd better learn to run faster than you talk, Kestrel said, and to her own great surprise, held out her unmarked hand to help him up the bank. Thistle found them an hour later, limping, cart abandoned, one sleeve singed black from a warden's fire lance that had come. He said with grim humor, rather closer than my aging heart appreciated. 3 of them now, then, fleeing toward the free city of Vale's Crossing, where Thistle swore he still had friends who owed him favors older than Fen Caro's whole life.